St. Lucy was born around the year 283 in Syracuse, on the island of Sicily, then part of the Roman Empire. The daughter of a wealthy family, Lucy was raised in an environment of material comfort, but showed an inclination for spirituality from a young age. Her mother, Eutychia, was a Christian, but still influenced by pagan traditions. Lucy's father, whose name is not recorded in history, died when she was very young, leaving her and her mother in a vulnerable position in society. From childhood, Lucy stood out for her intelligence and charity. Her bright eyes not only enchanted everyone, but also symbolized her sharp inner vision for the eternal truths of the Christian faith. In 3rd century Sicily, Christianity was growing amidst persecutions, with adherents of the new religion facing severe penalties, including death for their faithfulness to Christ. It was in this context that Lucy grew up. During her youth, Lucy developed a deep devotion to Jesus Christ. Influenced by Christian teachings, she desired to consecrate her virginity to God and live a life of service and charity. Her mother, however, did not fully share this desire. Wanting to protect the family's stability, Eutychia arranged for Lucy to be betrothed to a young man from a noble and pagan family, something Lucy did not wish to accept. At the same time, Eutychia suffered from a serious and debilitating illness. Lucy, confident in God's power, prayed incessantly for her mother's healing, also asking for the strength to follow her vocation. One day, Lucy and her mother made a pilgrimage to the tomb of St. Agatha in Catania, a few kilometers from Syracuse. During this journey, the young woman had a heavenly vision that would mark her destiny. St. Agatha appeared to Lucy in a dream and said to her, "Why do you ask for my intercession? Your faith has saved your mother." Upon waking, Lucy found her mother miraculously healed and took this as confirmation of her vocation. Deeply touched by the miracle, Eutychia was converted in heart and agreed to support her daughter's wishes. Lucy then decided to distribute her considerable inheritance to the poor and renounce marriage. This decision caused a great scandal among the nobles of Syracuse, especially with Lucy's young suitor, who felt betrayed and humiliated. He sought revenge by denouncing Lucy to the Roman authorities. At that time, Emperor Diocletian had intensified the persecution of Christians. Followers of Christ were required to offer sacrifices to the Roman gods under penalty of torture and death. Lucy was summoned to appear before the governor Pascasius, a cruel man determined to maintain imperial order. He demanded that she renounce her faith and honor the pagan gods. Demonstrating uncommon courage for her age, Lucy firmly declared, "I offer my sacrifice to the one true God, Jesus Christ." Her words impressed and angered the governor. Pascasius tried to persuade her in various ways, promising riches and social position if she complied. However, Lucy remained steadfast in her faith and her decision to consecrate her life to God. Faced with her refusal, the governor ordered that Lucy be sent to a brothel as a way to dishonor her. However, when the guards tried to move her, her body became inexplicably immovable, as if rooted to the ground. Not even with the strength of several men or the help of animals could she be moved. This phenomenon was seen as a sign of divine intervention, perplexing many, but also inciting greater hostility. The governor's wrath grew as his authority seemed to be challenged by a young Christian. He then ordered that Lucy be tortured until she renounced her faith. Lucy endured the torture with serenity and unshakable faith. It is said that even amid suffering, she preached about Christ to her tormentors, some of whom converted upon hearing her words. One of the most striking stories of her passion involves her refusal to abandon her virginity. According to tradition, her tormentors attempted to gouge out her eyes, but she miraculously continued to see. For this reason, Lucy is often depicted in images holding a plate with her eyes, a symbol of her purity and the miracle of her spiritual vision, even in the face of the worst adversities. Finally, the governor ordered that she be burned alive, but the flames did not touch her. As in other episodes of Christian history, the fire seemed to be tamed by divine providence. Frustrated with her resistance and unable to break her, Paschasius ordered that Lucy be decapitated. Even at that moment, she continued to profess her faith and encouraged the Christians of Syracuse to persevere. According to tradition, Lucy received the crown of martyrdom on December 13th, 304. Her death was a testimony of faith and courage that has inspired generations of Christians over the centuries. After her death, Lucy was venerated as a martyr and quickly became one of the pillars of the early church, especially in Sicily, where her memory is preserved with great devotion to this day. After Lucy's martyrdom, the Christians of Syracuse retrieved her body and buried it in an appropriate place, despite Roman government prohibitions against the veneration of martyrs. Lucy's fame as a pure, fearless, and devoted young woman quickly spread. Her story moved hearts not only in Syracuse, but also in other Christian communities around the Mediterranean. Devotion to Saint Lucy began to grow in the years that followed, especially due to her association with light. Her name, which means light in Latin, was interpreted as a symbol of her divine mission. Before long, miracles began to be attributed to Saint Lucy's intercession. Blind people or those with vision problems turned to her and reported extraordinary healings, solidifying her fame as the patron saint of eyesight. The tomb of St. Lucy became a pilgrimage site. Even in times of persecution, the faithful risked their lives to visit her tomb and seek her intercession for their needs. With Emperor Constantine's conversion to Christianity in the early 4th century, Lucy's cult gained more visibility. Churches began to be built in her honor, especially in Sicily. One of the earliest basilicas dedicated to Saint Lucy was erected in Syracuse, near the site where she is believed to have suffered martyrdom. This temple became a spiritual and cultural center in the region. During the 6th century, Pope Gregory the Great included Saint Lucy's name in the canon of the Mass, a significant recognition of her importance to the universal church. Devotion to Saint Lucy crossed borders. In the 8th century, when the Lombards invaded Italy, accounts of her life reached northern Europe, where her story was embraced with great fervor. In Sweden, Saint Lucy became especially venerated. Her feast on December 13th is celebrated with processions where young women dressed in white, wearing crowns of candles, symbolize the light brought into the world by the saint. This Scandinavian tradition reflects not only Christian influence, but also the incorporation of ancient rituals related to the winter solstice, transformed by faith into Christian celebrations. In the Middle Ages, St. Lucy's relics were moved from Syracuse to Constantinople to protect them from barbarian invasions. Later, they were taken to Venice, where they remain today in the Church of St. Jerome. Venice became another major center of devotion to St. Lucy. Every year, thousands of pilgrims visit her relics, reinforcing the connection between faith, culture, and history. The figure of St. Lucy also gained prominence in sacred art. Painters and sculptors represented her with a palm, a symbol of martyrdom, often holding her eyes on a tray. Additionally, her iconography with a lamp or a crown of candles symbolizes her mission to illuminate the world with the light of faith, even in the darkest moments. In the following centuries, the cult of St. Lucy expanded to the Americas, brought by missionaries spreading Christianity to the newly discovered lands. In Latin America, St. Lucy became one of the most beloved saints, with churches, communities, and festivals in her honor. Her intercession is especially invoked by those facing health challenges. St. Lucy's feast on December 13th is marked by an atmosphere of joy and spirituality. In many places, it is celebrated with solemn masses, processions, and acts of charity. The date of her feast is also significant in the liturgical calendar, as it occurs during Advent, a time of preparation for the arrival of Christ's light at Christmas. St. Lucy is remembered not only as a martyr, but as a living witness of God's love. Her story inspires courage, especially in times of trial and persecution. Popular devotion to Saint Lucy is also deeply linked to hope. In their prayers, the faithful seek her not only as an intercessor, but as a guide to help them find the path to divine light. In many cultures, her feast is associated with the renewal of faith and commitment to Christian values. Saint Lucy is seen as a protector against spiritual and physical darkness. Despite transformations over the centuries, Saint Lucy remains one of the most beloved and venerated figures in Christianity. Her story resonates with generations, showing that the light of faith never fades. Her example continues to inspire artists, theologians, and writers. Many literary and musical works have been dedicated to her, highlighting her purity, courage, and determination. The impact of Saint Lucy on the lives of the faithful is profound. For many, she is a model of fidelity to Christ, even in the face of the harshest adversities. In Syracuse, her hometown, the celebrations of Saint Lucy are a grand event. The entire city gathers to honor their patroness with processions and acts of devotion that attract pilgrims from around the world. In every corner of the Christian world, the story of Saint Lucy continues to be told. From Syracuse to Sweden, from Venice to the Americas, her testimony shines like a beacon of faith. Even in modern times, her message remains relevant. Saint Lucy reminds us of the importance of resisting forces that try to extinguish the light of faith and charity in our lives. Her life and martyrdom are an invitation for all Christians to remain steadfast in their faith, trusting in the transformative power of God's love. Thus, Saint Lucy, the young martyr of light, continues to illuminate the paths of the Church, inspiring us to always seek the light of Christ that never fades. Over the centuries, Saint Lucy has been incorporated into Christian tradition as a symbol of spiritual resilience. Her life exemplifies how faith can illuminate even the darkest moments of human existence. The celebration of Saint Lucy during Advent reflects her connection to the coming of Christ, the true light of the world. For the faithful, her feast is an anticipation of the hope that Christmas brings. In many places, devotion to Saint Lucy is marked by acts of charity. The faithful honor her memory by helping the poor, a practice dating back to the distribution of her inheritance in Syracuse. Children also play an important role in Saint Lucy's celebrations, especially in Sweden, where girls dressed in white represent purity and light while singing hymns in her honor. One of the most popular hymns dedicated to Saint Lucy is Sancta Lucia, often sung during processions. Although of Italian origin, it has become a global tradition in her celebration. The association of Saint Lucy with vision and light has given rise to rich spiritual symbolism. For many, she is an intercessor who helps recover not only physical sight, but also spiritual clarity. Accounts of miracles attributed to Saint Lucy continue to inspire the faithful. Stories of miraculous healings, conversions, and protection in times of danger reinforce her importance in Christian life. In sacred art, Saint Lucy is often depicted alongside other martyr saints, such as Saint Agatha and Saint Cecilia. This proximity reflects her status among the great heroines of the Church. Her relics, preserved in the Church of Saint Jerome in Venice, are a central point of pilgrimage. The veneration of these relics is a testimony to the continuous faith and devotion to Saint Lucy. In Syracuse, her feast includes a procession with the saint's statue carried through the city streets. This event is accompanied by thousands of faithful and symbolizes the strength of the faith that Lucy inspired. Another striking tradition is the distribution of blessed bread during her feast, a practice that dates back to Saint Lucy's charitable actions during her life. This gesture symbolizes sharing and generosity. In Brazil, Saint Lucy is venerated in various communities, especially in the northeast, where her feast is celebrated with great fervor. For many, she's a protector and mediator in times of need. Devotion to Saint Lucy transcends borders and cultures. She is a unifying figure who connects Christians from different parts of the world through her story of faith and sacrifice. In Christian spirituality, Saint Lucy is often invoked as a model of purity and courage. Her life is a reminder that true strength comes from fidelity to God, even in the face of threats. Furthermore, Saint Lucy is seen as an example of total surrender. Her decision to consecrate her virginity to God reflects an unconditional love that manifests in acts of service and witness. For Christian women, Saint Lucy is a special inspiration. Her resistance against the pressures of her time shows that it is possible to remain true to one's values in any circumstance. Saint Lucy's connection to the eyes and light has deep significance in Christian faith. The eyes represent the window to the soul, and light symbolizes Christ's presence as a guide on the spiritual journey. Many faithful pray to Saint Lucy for clarity in their decisions or for illumination in moments of doubt. She is seen as a guide who helps find the right path. In times of persecution and intolerance, Saint Lucy is remembered as an example of perseverance. Her story inspires Christians not to give up their faith, even when facing adversity. In communities where access to education is limited, Saint Lucy is invoked as the patroness of students, as her light also symbolizes the pursuit of knowledge and divine wisdom. The Feast of Saint Lucy is a celebration that combines elements of tradition and renewal. Each generation of Christians finds new meanings and reasons to strengthen their faith in her story. Many Christian writers and poets over the centuries have used the image of Saint Lucy as a metaphor for the victory of light over darkness, a central theme in Christian theology. In modern times, Saint Lucy continues to be an example of unwavering faith amid the existential crises many face. Her story resonates especially among young people seeking a greater purpose. Saint Lucy's message is universal. Even those who do not share the Christian faith recognize in her a story of courage, sacrifice, and commitment to the highest ideals. In the Catholic Church, Saint Lucy is celebrated as a model of holiness. Her life is a reminder that true happiness lies not in material possessions, but in union with God. For many devotees, Saint Lucy is more than a historical saint. She is a living presence who continues to intercede and bring comfort in times of difficulty. Her testimony of faith and her story are often used as themes for spiritual retreats and reflections during Advent, helping the faithful prepare for Christmas. Celebrations in her honor are a moment of communion and reflection. For many, it is an opportunity to renew their commitments to Christian values and rekindle their faith. In popular culture, Saint Lucy is remembered as a saint of miracles. Her name is synonymous with hope, especially for those facing seemingly insurmountable challenges. The story of Saint Lucy is proof that the light of faith can withstand the darkest forces. She teaches us that, with God, nothing is impossible. Saint Lucy's influence on modern Christian life reflects the transformative power of her story. Her example is a constant call for the faithful to remain steadfast in faith amidst difficulties. In Italy, her homeland, devotion to Saint Lucy remains alive. Syracuse, in particular, is the stage for celebrations that unite history, faith, and culture, attracting visitors from around the world. In other parts of the world, such as the Philippines and the Caribbean, Saint Lucy is celebrated as a symbol of hope and light. The island of Saint Lucia in the Caribbean bears her name, a testament to her global fame. Saint Lucy's processions, especially in Sweden, are among the most enchanting manifestations of her devotion. Young people carrying candles recreate her role as a bearer of light in times of darkness. The figure of Saint Lucy is also deeply linked to the idea of sacrifice. Her life shows that true love for God demands renunciation, but also offers eternal rewards. In Latin America, Saint Lucy is seen as a saint of the people. Her simplicity, purity, and devotion resonate especially among the poor, who find in her a faithful protector. Many devotees of St. Lucy report feeling her presence in times of difficulty, like a light guiding them through the shadows. This testimony reinforces confidence in her intercession. In Christian iconography, St. Lucy continues to be depicted beautifully and symbolically. Her images, with eyes on a tray and a palm in hand, are a reminder of her purity and martyrdom. In the academic sphere, her story has been studied as an example of female resistance. St. Lucy defied the social norms of her time, placing her faith above human conventions. St. Lucy's message continues to inspire movements of justice and charity. Her life demonstrates that true strength comes from faith, and that actions inspired by God have a lasting impact. In times of global crisis, St. Lucy is invoked as a beacon of hope. Her life shows that divine light can prevail even in the most adverse circumstances. For communities facing religious persecution, St. Lucy is an example of courage. She inspires Christians to remain faithful, even in the face of threats and trials. Her story is also a reminder that holiness is not limited to clergy or scholars of the faith. Lucy, as a young laywoman, showed that anyone can respond to God's call. St. Lucy remains alive in Christian tradition, not just as a historical figure, but as a source of ongoing spiritual inspiration. Her light is a symbol of Christ's love for the world. In the end, St. Lucy teaches us that by seeking divine light, we can illuminate the lives of others. Thus, she continues to be a guide and intercessor for Christians of all times, keeping the flame of faith alive.